I'm the director for the Survivor Advocacy Program at Roberta's House. I will be your host tonight. Thank you for joining us for another Real Talk with Roberta's House. I'm excited because I have two young ladies that I work closely with at Roberta's House. And our topic today will cover linking individuals to community resources, particularly during the pandemic. So joining me this evening is Ms. Yvonne Simmons, along with Tina L. Harris. Welcome, ladies.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So it's good that you guys have joined us and took time to come out to do this with us. So I want to start with Zena. Zena, can you tell us a little about what you do at Roberta's House?
So what I do at Roberta's House is I'm a survivor advocate for families that have lost a loved one or loved ones due to homicide. What happens is we get an initial referral. We get it from the Baltimore City Police Department. And from there, we had 24 to 48 hours to contact that survivor to share information about Roberta's House and the services that we offer to our survivors.
Wonderful. So this sounds like a detailed job in working with survivors of homicide. What brought you to Roberta's House?
So the unique story of what brought me to Roberta's House. I lost my sister to natural causes in 2009, and her two younger children attended elementary school, Rosemont, and I spoke with the school social worker, and she referred us to Roberta's House, and we went to Roberta's House for a 10-week session. It was called the family session. After the second session, I asked the president, of course, yours truly, Mrs. Annette March Greer, if she could create a position for me, and she indicated that I needed to go to the volunteer training. So I did that, and I did some volunteering. And 7 years later, there was a position that posted, didn't know what it was for. I just applied. I was like, I need to work for Roberta's House because in my sister's passing, it birthed my passion for what it is that I need to do on this side.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Zena. Thank you for your service at Roberta's House.
Thank you.
So, Ms. Yvonne Simmons, what brought you to Roberta's House?
Well, I worked in finance for 28 years, and I've always had a passion for criminal justice. And after I left there, I ended up working with the Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services. But after 6 years, I knew that that wasn't my cup of tea. So I started looking for different positions, and I ran across a position on Indeed for a homicide survivor advocate at Roberta's House. So I did a little bit of research and read up on the history, and it said that Julia Roberta March was she was a model of compassion. So I applied for the job. I wrote it down, and I thank God for the job actually before I received the job. And fortunately, I was awarded the position, and I've been there for 6 years. Not 6 years. I've been there for 3 years, and it's very rewarding.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again for your service and what you're doing. And just, I'm sure, that had to be life altering to kind of make that switch. So thank you. So Ms. Zena, can you tell us about the experiences of the individuals coming to Roberta's House, particularly the individuals that are in the Homicide Survivor Advocacy Program? How do the individuals coming in, because they have been traumatized due to a homicide, and they are now survivors, and they're now a part of a club that nobody wants to be a part of. So what are some experiences that you have observed from the families?
So I know when we initially get a survivor into our program, we receive a referral from the Baltimore City Police Department. We are to contact them within 24 to 48 hours. So when we do that initial call, of course, we introduce ourselves, offer our condolences, and we give them a brief conversation in terms of what Roberta's House looks like and what it is we do as advocates to calm and soothe the survivors as much as possible. But when you initially get that call, sometimes they're questioning who you are. Is this real? Do we have to pay for it? Where did you get my information from? Because that experience was so traumatic, and part of dealing with your grief is a lot of times you forget who you're talking to and who you gave your information to. So once we are able to speak with them in a calm tone and be as patient with them, we're able to get to them, what it is that we do. So coming with a lot of anger, a lot of doubt, sometimes a lot of questions, and sometimes they don't want to talk at all. So we just continue to be compassionate in our conversation, and we're able to get them to talk to us and provide those services for them.
Wonderful. It sounds like some meaningful work and some things that you have been doing. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
So with the impact of the coronavirus, this pandemic has changed the world. It has changed how we view the world. It has changed the way we work. You know, I know at Roberta's House, we have been blessed to do our work from home, and we're offering virtual sessions. So nothing has stopped. We continue to do our work from day one. The next day when we left the office, we were on the computer and still working and accessing our survivors. So Ms. Yvonne, can you tell us about the impact that this virus has had on the work that you do with your survivors?
Well, the impact that it's had on the work that we do with our survivors is now, we used to do home visits where we would go into the survivors' homes and sit with them and let them, you know, talk to us about their loved ones and whatever else they wanted to talk to. But now that we have this coronavirus and we're unable to go into the homes, so we do virtual visits with them via dual, FaceTime, and the telephone. And within the, when we do the dual visits with them, we still can give them hugs, even though they're virtual hugs, right? And it just helps. It just helps because they can still see us, and it still personalizes it somewhat, where they can still show us pictures of their loved ones, and they can sit and talk with us, and you can just actually sit there and listen to them with the compassion that you have if you're seeing them face to face.
That is absolutely awesome to be able to continue to do the work that you do. It's just that we're now doing it from a different method. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So I do know that a big part of your job is to link individuals to resources, those needed resources. And as I can imagine that there has been maybe an increase for resources, you know, people needing different things. So Zena, can you talk to me, give me 3 top things that your survivors are reaching out to you for?
So the top 3 things that I have gotten from my survivors would definitely be mental health. It would be dealing with being able to pay for their utilities, and just being able to have someone to talk to. And in doing that, as well as with the, because of their funerals, now they are not able to have that family gathering that they used to having because of the COVID-19. I assist them with doing the CICB application, which is a criminal injuries application that they do. And because we're working from home, as Ms. Simmons indicated, we mail our packets to our survivors. And when it comes to the CICB application, we actually walk our survivors through the application, literally line by line, to complete that application. And we share with them the documentations that are needed to turn into with CICB. And it is the Maryland Criminal Injuries Board Compensation. That's what it stands for. And once they fill out that application and they have the documentation that they need, they have to then mail that application to 6776 Ricestown Road, Suite 206, Baltimore, Maryland, 21215. And then they can also call the CICB office on Tuesday and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that telephone number is 410-585-3100. And then when it comes to your utility bills, you are actually able to contact the State Center office. And when you contact the State Center office, you give them your address for them to mail you an application for those that do not have computers. And that telephone number is 1-800-332-6347. Once you receive the application, again, that application can be used for a water bill or for BG&E. If it is for BG&E, then you would mail that application to 1731 East Chase Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21213. And if it is for your water bill, you would mail that to BH20 Processing Unit, P.O. Box 22586, Baltimore, Maryland 21203. Then I want to kind of go backwards just a little bit just to give you the telephone number again for the State Center's office to receive that application. That telephone number is 1-800-332-6347. When it comes to the mental health piece, Roberta's House we use mainly two different people we do for individual therapy. One of those is the Family Bereavement Center, and their telephone number is 443-984-6244. And then we also use Pro Bono. Pro Bono's telephone number is 410-825-1001. And then we also at Roberta's House, we have a 24-hour support line that we encourage our survivors to use. And that telephone number is 1-844-227-3478. So I'll repeat that number again. It's 1-844-227-3478.
All right, wonderful. Those sound like some great resources. So for everyone that's listening, don't be alarmed if you did not capture that information all at once, because we will definitely post it at robertashouse.org. So thank you, Zena. And I can imagine, I'm sure that Yvonne would share this with us, the level of patience that you have, particularly during this time in working with our survivors and making sure that we are linking them to the right resources that they need. So thank you for sharing that. Yvonne, what top resources are your survivors asking for?
Well, food, unemployment information, and actually, since they're home with their children, homeschooling, then I had some tips and some information to give them also.
Great. Can you share?
So for unemployment, what I tell my survivors is to be patient and to pick a time when they're going to call, and expect to stay on the phone maybe for a half an hour or more, but to give yourself some time. Inhale and exhale. Okay. So what I found out was on May the 8th, there was a new system set up for people who are filing for unemployment, and it's the Beacon OneStop. You go on the internet and you can put in Beacon OneStep, and you put in your information. And if you don't have your information, your username or your password, you can go to Beacon OneStop username and password handbook, and it'll walk you through the steps to get your information in so that you can file your claim. So on Sundays and Mondays, individuals filing their weekly claims that have already started the process can go in and file their weekly claim. Individuals who are just become unemployed or have waited and they're filing for the first time, they can do that on Tuesdays through Saturdays. But be aware that from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m., the system is totally down for maintenance and any technical issues that they may have. If in fact you do not have a computer to do this, you can dial the number 410-853-1600. That's when you first start for people who are beginning to apply for their unemployment. Others who are filing weekly claims, they can dial 410-949-0022. In addition to the food, I have several food resources for you. The James D. Gross Rec Center, located at 4600 Lanier Avenue, it's in Zone 15. They have breakfast and lunch from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's again, James D. Gross Rec Center, 4600 Lanier Avenue, 21215. We have the Drew Hill Community Court at 2140 McCullough Street. They have a food pantry every Wednesday and Thursday. It starts at 10:30 until the food is gone. You have the Sandtown Community at 1911 North Payson Street, Monday through Saturday from 1 to 5. They have curbside pickup They have lunch, dinner, and a snack, and they'll give you breakfast for the following morning. Well, if you live in Baltimore County, you can call the Baltimore County Food Resource, and the phone number is 410-887-2594, or you can go to the Baltimore County Maryland.gov website, and their distribution is on Saturdays, and they have weekday meal distributions also. So they're open from 8:30 to 4:30 if you need to make the phone call. I also figured that some people live in Howard County, so I have a Howard County resource. You can call the Howard County Food Bank. The phone number is 410-313-6185. And last but not least, Anne Arundel County. Anne Arundel County Food Bank, the number is 410-923-4255. And you can call them between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. And one more resource. Well, I don't know if you know or not, but Roberta's House, we have Reading with Cheryl. So all of you who are homeschooling your children and you need a break, or you think that your children need to sit down and listen to a book be read to them, they can join through Zoom. The meeting ID number is 842-812-52863. Reading with Cheryl takes place on Mondays from 4:15 to 4:45. And I have another resource. The Governor's Office of Crime Prevention, Youth, and Victim Services. They have a website that's up, and it tells you how to talk to your children about COVID-19. There are tips for homeschooling there. You have things to do at home. They have science activities online. You can, they can take a virtual trip. They can also live stream animals at the Smithsonian. There's a live stream undersea creatures at the National Aquarium. So that's something that will occupy their minds and give mom and dad a break.
Mm. Wow, that's a lot of information. Good information. So our advocates at Roberta's House are very resourceful. You guys know what's happening in our communities. We appreciate that. Again, for all those that are listening, we will make sure that we post all these wonderful, wonderful resources that individuals need. So again, thank you, Ms. Javon and Zena, for just going above and beyond on your job and making sure that people are linked to the resources that they need to have. So with that, I know this takes a lot of work when doing your jobs and working with your survivors, in addition to doing your research. So I need to ask, how do you take care of yourself? Because you know that we're working from home, and sometimes people think because you're working from home, you get to lay back. But I know in our case, sometimes it feels like we're working even more from home.
Right.
You always have to be on top of different things. So I want to know, how do you take care of yourself? And I'm sure other people are trying to figure that out also, particularly you're working with a very sensitive population. You're working with individuals who have been traumatized due to homicide, and you take that with you every day. So how do you take care of yourself? Ms. Javon, let's start with you.
Well, I take care of myself. I love to cook. That's number one. So I find myself, I cook almost every day, each and every day, even though I give food away. I like planting flowers. So I go out and I like to stay grounded. I guess I like the dirt. I love the dirt. So I plant flowers. I have nowhere else to put them, but I constantly keep finding somewhere. And I plant flowers, plant a lot of flowers, not just for myself, for my neighbors also. And taking care of myself is basically involves taking care of others. I look out for my neighbors. You know, I enjoy the sunshine. the sunshine, the skies, the birds chirping now at 4 o'clock in the morning. So, I mean, that's very relaxing and rewarding.
That is relaxing.
Yeah. Talking to my coworkers. I still talk to my coworkers. And I think that even though we are practicing social distancing and we are at home, we all still communicate with each other. And that's great also.
That is good. Thank you, Ms. Javon. Thank you. So, Ms. Zena, how are you taking care of yourself?
So, what I do is I walk I love music. I'm a house head. So I listen to house music, I listen to gospel music, I listen to R&B, I listen to neo soul. I have begun to, of course, when we first came home, I did a real deep cleaning of my house because being at work so much, you don't realize how much little tedious things that could be done. So I've done that. I have gotten even a better relationship with my cat. And I talk to my colleagues. I talk to Miss Simmons every day. And we, the entire team, we communicate, whether it be FaceTime, dual, telephone, email. I do go out, and in walking, I do engage with my my neighbors. I talk to my parents and my nieces and nephew every day to see how they're doing. So we FaceTime a lot. I've been able to actually be able to sit down and talk to some people I haven't talked to in a long time, whether it be good friends or family friends. So I've been able to do that. I read my Bible. I pray. I meditate. And as Vonnie said earlier, you know, the sun and the breeze and the birds chirping at 4:30 in the morning, you start to hear things that you don't normally hear because you're so used to getting up every day at a certain time. And it's like, okay, it's time, we gotta go to work. But it's a little different now because we actually get up and go to work downstairs or in another room to what we have now called our offices at home. So it's a little bit different. So the little things that, you know, you didn't think about before, you really think about those things now. And every now and then I just get out a good golly wash holla from my toenail to my head. It feels really good. So that's what I do.
That is awesome. That's absolutely wonderful. We know that taking care of ourselves, we can't take care of others until we're able to take care of ourselves.
Exactly.
So thank you guys for those wonderful tips and what you do. So I want to, in ending this, because we know that the world is grieving right now. We know that our survivors continue to grieve, yes, even during the pandemic, particularly as we look at everybody else and see that so much is happening in our new world, right? This is no longer a new normal. This is our normal. But this is a new world. It's a new way of living right now. And it offers opportunities for new ways to grieve because, you know, we don't grieve like we used to grieve. We're still grieving, but things have changed. So I want you guys to give us some grief tips. So someone that's out there and they might have just lost someone, whether it's due to homicide or some other type of loss, or maybe been impacted by COVID-19. Can you give us at least 3 grief tips? Ms. Dina, can we start with you?
I would say to inhale and exhale. Allow yourself to feel the ball of emotions that you may feel. You may be going from being upset to being angry to going into a rage to crying to laughing. And it's okay to experience all of those. You're not crazy. You're not cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You did experience something traumatic. So you are going to go through those balls of emotions, and it's okay. Definitely talk to someone, write, listen to music, pray. If you meditate or you pray, do those things. And then also, you know, and contact your advocates. Contact us here at Roberta's House because, you know, we're here to service you. That's something that Ms. Simmons and I don't take lightly is to be able to be there, listen, and hear the survivors, because a lot of times they need a soundboard dealing with this, and then having to deal with the COVID-19, you're not able to really go out as you would like to, and family can't come and visit. You know, we share with them different ways, you know, create a Zoom, you know, you get on your phone and do dual Google, and, you know, we actually walk them through that process. A lot of it was new for us. And we are, you know, we had to learn, so we want to teach them as well, different ways to do that. But to definitely be able to inhale and exhale, it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. It's okay to scream or yell. It's okay.
All right, wonderful. And finally, Ms. Yvonne, what are some grief tips you may have for us?
Give yourself some time. Accept your feelings and know that grieving is a process. It's a process. And I want to say, because I am, I guess, a nature girl and all, even though you may be going through the winter of your life, we are still in the spring, and with spring comes rebirth. So enjoy the flowers and the trees and the birds. The sky is even bluer now. If you notice, because there's not a lot of traffic moving around, a lot of smog, a lot of pollution. The skies are even bluer. So enjoy the skies. Enjoy the natural beauty of life. And as Zena said, get on the phone and call your loved ones. Download the Zoom app. And then download the Zoom app, you give all of your family and friends the meeting ID number. Have a Zoom party. Have a Zoom party. Have a DJ, somebody be a DJ, and do what you do and have a Zoom party and just relax and try to let go a little bit and enjoy something in life, because there's something good out of all of this.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you, ladies. That was absolutely wonderful. So I want to say thank you to everyone who's tuning in and joining us this afternoon, actually. And I want to say a special thank you to Ms. Zena and Ms. Yvonne for taking the time to come and share all those wonderful resources with us and tell us a little bit about what you do at Roberta's House. And I always enjoy asking people what brought them to Roberta's House. You know,
Right.
That shows the passion that they have for servicing. So thank you again, ladies, for joining us. Join us next week on the 25th, where we'll be talking about guilt and anger and blame, particularly during the pandemic. I'll be back on along with Doreen Teran, who is the program manager for the Homicide Survivor Advocacy Program. But in the meantime, I would say take care of yourself, take care of your family. You know, as the cities begin to open back up, I want to say, please, please, please pay attention to social distancing, right? It's not over yet, right? We have no idea when it will be over. So, and I know everybody want to get out. The weather is great, but I still would say proceed with caution. So continue to wear your mask, continue to wear your gloves, focus on taking care of yourself. And as the lady said earlier, make sure you reach out to individuals, reach out to your family, reach out to your friends, and don't forget those that are hospitalized. Don't forget those who are nursing homes or some other type of residential centers, because everybody needs an encouraging word.
Yes, yes.
So until then, remember that healing begins with you. So thank you and welcome us. And Miss Yvonne has something else. Go ahead.
One more thing, as we do at Roberta's House. Y'all ready?
Yes.
Let's do our pledge.
I care for you. You care for me. And we care for each other.
Wonderful. Thank you, ladies. Have a
You're
good
welcome.
day.